Hi everyone, so I'm Roy Solomon. I'm co-founder and head of product at uTest. Basically, we founded uTest almost 3 years ago, so we're kind of a young company. The product itself, or the offering itself, only exists for around 2 years. And basically the vision of the company was to take testing to the next level. So I managed a few large testing teams for a consumer application with millions of users. And I tested month over month with a big lab, with a lot of people, a lot of money involved. But every time I released a new product to the market, basically I introduced new issues. And the issues came up with the multi-platforms problem, so I needed to support Mac and Windows and multiple browsers. And when mobile came, then more platforms, more browsers on the mobile device, carriers. So every aspect of the distribution list basically affected my application. The end result that in many cases it didn't work in specific locations. So I had issues in Germany because localization was an issue there. I had issues with specific areas. Basically every time I had issues. So this is where I tried to come up with a new vision and basically take beta programs, but make it much better and much structured, much manageable way, and basically introduce a new way to do testing. And this is how the crowd involved into testing. So basically today we have more than 35 professional testers joined our community. So basically those are the guys that actually deliver the services that we sell. We just somewhere, some cloud between the customers and the testers. You can look at us as matching or dating for testing. Because at the end of the day, what we're doing, we try to take your testing needs and structure them into testing parameters and take those parameters and match them to the professional tester's skills. So I know at any given point in time that some tester is very good in mobile applications, specifically on iOS of media and entertainment type of application, but is less of a good fit to a desktop app in the financial space. So I'll make sure that all the assignments that this tester gets would be of the right fit. We offer our services via an on-demand testing platform. So we ourselves are a SaaS platform. We test desktop, web, and mobile applications. Obviously, mobile is our growth space at the moment. Our customer base is pretty unique because we have a lot of customers that are startups, usually successful startup with scalability issue, and I'll talk about it later on, but also a lot of enterprises because they have, at the end of the day, companies like Google and Microsoft and EMC and Facebook and Groupon, they all have the same problem, the same scalability and multi-platform, multi-environment problem that a startup with two guys that are trying to launch the product for the first time have as well. Today we have hundreds of recurrent customers and we're running thousands of test cycles every month. And that's the beauty of the model. Some sample customers, you can see that it's from a variety type of spaces. So a lot of it is retailers and media and entertainment and software companies and gaming companies. And they all have the same common ground, scalability issues. Scalability in terms of people. They don't have enough people or enough time to test. So they need on demand to increase the amount of testers that they have per version. And I think the Met Office is a perfect example. They know what they're doing. They're very good at what they're doing. Basically, they need per release every 3 months or so. They just need more people for 2 days. And obviously, the old models of hiring a guy for 2 days or going into outsourcing a guy for 2 days won't work in that example. You also can see another common ground. The majority of these guys have millions of users. So Amazon needs to test the web services across so many platforms that it's impossible for them to create a lab that contain all the different parameters or any other of those players. Okay, so basically what we do, we're trying to offer, to create a crowdsourcing layer that offer a variety of services around the QA space. So the majority of the business today is around functional testing. Basically, a customer will come and define a test cycle in our system. A test cycle can be an exploratory testing of a web app or functional coverage of a mobile app. They will outline exactly what needs to be tested, what kind of code has been changed in a specific version, where the focus of the testing they want to be done, who is the typical user of the application, because we're trying to match that our tester would kind of mimic the end user of your product. And basically, at the end of the process, what we provide is functional testing across a lot of testers, across almost infinite environments, again, based on your parameters. The end result of that is mainly two things. One is bug list. So every time the tester finds an issue, they will report it into our system, and we have capabilities to push it into your internal bug tracking system. And the second output is an executable of a test case if you provided one. So basically, at the end of a functional test cycle, you get a sense of coverage, functional-wise and environmental-wise, plus any issues that the tester found. Usability. Obviously, the fact that you can create your own group of testers that kind of look and behave like your consumer can give you a lot of usability feedback. And we see that our customers are very keen to get feedback from someone in a specific area with a specific device or environment, because it's crucial to the business. And if you have usability issues in today's world, if I'm an online and media provider or e-tailer, if someone doesn't understand how to check out and buy a book at Amazon, basically they are losing millions of dollars a second. So usability is another growing space for us. And we see the customers that are seeking specific testers in specific locations. So a lot of our customers will come and say, hey, I want to build now a user group from Western European countries, even go into some charts like age and sex or occupation or a technicality level, everything that at the end of the day affects the way the user behaves. The third one is loaded performance, and Tom kind of touched that. So we are partnering with Soesta in order to provide kind of a unique loaded performance solution. Basically, we combine both synthetic load and human load at the same time. So you can look at it as the cloud computing plus the human cloud in order to provide you an end-to-end solution. And a lot of the large enterprises that have performance concerns wants to get the human feedback during the synthetic load that is running. So basically, I can tell Amazon today that in, let's say, 500 concurrent users, the feedback of a human in a checkout process is that. And maybe in terms of hardcore technical parameters, everything looks okay, but the human being eye and the human being feedback may be not okay at all. Maybe it takes a second or a millisecond too late for the book thumbnail to load, and at this point I will close my browser and go away instead of buying the book. So we see that as a very unique and appealing service. Security is another thing that we see that the market is kind of asked us to do. Basically, security is kind of a mature business. And a lot of startups and also medium companies don't really do security testing. They kind of have their own developers and own DBAs, and they're trying to read about security, and they try to do the best they can. But at the end of the day, we see that a lot of them don't really have a strong security policy. And basically what we do, it's pretty easy. We take out of the community, we profile the right testers into the security testing space. They are all certified testers. And basically, we challenge the testers to try and find hacks in the customer environment and help the customer prevent issues. So it's still not into level of certifications, and we are not trying to do like VeriSign or Veracode type of service, but it's really more like an hacking challenge around security, and really give you feedback from people that kind of live security on the daily basis. And the last thing that we are doing is around localization. So obviously, we have a diverse community. It means diverse languages, diverse cultures. So we have the capabilities to QA localization. Like I can test localization projects, and we found a lot of issues there, but also capabilities to provide the right testers in the right locations with the right language and basically match a project of localization as well. So this is the breadth of services, and basically you can see that the unique thing about it is it's all mature business. It's all being done today by a lot of companies. What we're doing, we're trying to create a layer of the human cloud, of the crowd basically, that provides the same services in a different way, in an on-demand, low-cost way. So we see the crowd testing as a space that take testing in general to the next level. So if my options 10 years from now, like 10, 15 years ago, was to build a lab and hire a team, after that I try to reduce cost and try to get even more skilled people. So I'll outsource, which is still a valid option. The third option today that really can work together with the other two is crowdsourcing. So today we see that like a typical customer will have a team of 4 or 5 internal guys. Maybe they will have some outsourcing team offshore or onshore. And on top of that, they will use uTest in order to get the environmental coverage, to use the on-demand nature of the business, because they can ramp up a test cycle with 5, 50, 500 testers in a few minutes. And obviously, you cannot do that with the other options. And we really see that as a plugin that can fit any QA organization. Now, I'm not saying that it's a good fit for every type of testing, because it's not. For example, if you have a very, very complex application that you need to spend months and months in order to learn and understand it, then it's probably not a good fit. But if it's like a light application, or even an enterprise application that's kind of easily to consume, and a typical end user can get it in a few days, then we can test it. And we proved along the years, the 2 and something years that we are running, that the testers are good enough to ramp up very quickly. And it can be a very easy Twitter application, and it can be a storage device for EMC. And basically, once you give them the right instructions and you share with them what needs to be tested, and we give them the right incentives, obviously, they know what to do, and they take the assignments and deliver.